This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and today we are going to take a very close look at just who is this Harley Pasternak, one of Hollywood's biggest personal trainers for celebrities. Now let me first start by saying that I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to celebrities. I don't watch TV, I don't even have a TV. I threw out that parasite in my life around 15 years ago. What I do find interesting about this is that this man with massive Hollywood connections is also connected to the Canadian military, and he's been involved in psychological operations involving drugs. So for context, let's back this all the way up to 2016, when Kanye West, who now goes by Ye, was institutionalized by his personal doctor and this trainer. On November 21st, 2016, a 911 call was made by Kanye's doctor about Kanye while he was staying at his trainer's house. Just have a listen to this call.
911 emergency, Departamento Policía, 652.
Hey, PD, hold on, sir. Sir,
Sure.
PD, this is number 97. I have you're his doctor, sir, is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I'm actually one of his doctors. I'm just calling for my cell phone request if we can have some police backup, because I don't think the paramedics,
Are you there now with him? So let me connect this with the police.
If you can bring both, yeah, because I think he definitely is going to need to be hospitalized, so I wouldn't just do the police by itself. I think he needs to...
Okay, what is the medical condition he's having, sir?
Weapons involved or in the area? No other weapons, no. And you're his doctor or therapist? Yeah, correct, doctor.
PD, I'm 868. I'm number 97.
No, he doesn't want that. You guys are responding.
PD, we're going to go ahead and respond and stand by for you.
All right, 652, and it's going to be 2447. Yeah, and as I said, I
68 PD, and I'm 97. And both stand by for your clearance.
Okay, we'll do, sir. Okay, sir, if you can just keep an eye on him, just to try to... Obviously, he's here with us. Don't let him get any weapons or anything like that. If anything changes, if he does become physically combative between now and when the police and or paramedics get their calls back immediately at 911. Will do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, FJ.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
His personal trainer left the house after Kanye was hospitalized, and he was pretty silent about it when asked by reporters.
What happened here? You know?
Would you mind so we can just diffuse this and, just a quick statement, is he good? A thumbs up?
Is this during a workout or? I know his fans are going to be worried. We're just going to check in. Thank you.
Thanks. You can reach his publicist. All right.
Is there anything you want people to know about what happened? It's going to be reported, so.
Sorry, nothing to share.
How long have you trained Kanye?
Sorry, guys. Well, sir, you can't say anything, just is he okay? Do you know if he's breathing?
Is that accurate? That is a psychiatric evaluation? It's just for precautions? How are you feeling? What would you want to say to him? Is everyone else okay?
Was there anyone else there?
Fast forward now to 2022, when Kanye West was recently suspended from Twitter and Instagram for a couple of posts that suggested that he was being controlled by a powerful Jewish interest. He then doubled down on that statement by releasing this text message that he got from his Jewish Hollywood personal trainer. What should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand for my truth regardless of the consequences. So I will say this again. I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make me a manageable, well-behaved celebrity. And he shared this text message that he got from his personal trainer. I'm going to help you in one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and we have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. Wow, talk about a threat. So let's take a much closer look at just who this guy is, shall we? According to his Wikipedia page, he's a Canadian personal trainer who's known for working with many celebrity clients as a personal trainer. And just a few days ago, his wiki page listed just a few of these notable clients that he has. You got people like Adam Levine, Behati Prinsloo, Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, you know, Megan Fox, John Mayer, Amy Schumer, Ariana Grande. It just goes on and on and on. Jessica Simpson, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow, Tobey Maguire, Rihanna, Mac Miller. It's interesting. Gwen Stefani, Usher, you know, Jack Black, Bono, Mila Jovovich, Alicia Keys. I mean, needless to say, this guy is very well connected in Hollywood. But if you look now, since Kanye exposed him, all references to Kanye West and many others have been edited out. So, let's dig a little bit deeper. During his time at the University of Toronto, Pasternak served as a nutrition and exercise scientist at the Department of National Defense's Defense and Civil Institute for Environmental Medicine. The D&D is the department of the Government of Canada which supports the Canadian Armed Forces. And the DRDC is a major military research station located at the former site of CFB, or the Canadian Forces Base. So what type of stuff do they research at the DRDC? Oh, just human technology interaction and the social and psychological factors that affect the resolution of conflict. You got human systems integration, human performance in stressful environments, simulation and modeling of the human in complex military systems, human issues in command and control, team performance and collaborative behavior, psychology of malicious intent, and social and cultural factors influencing behavior. This might as well be called Psychological Operations 101. And they even experiment with drugs for the purposes of control. And don't just take it from me. Hear it now from the horse's mouth. Harley Pasternak himself.
The area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, are that like performance-enhancing drugs, or are they
all
just
kinds of drugs?
Oh, right. Okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was. So I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment?
Is that used now as one of these brain drugs? I've heard the name before somewhere.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake, but it's not a stimulant.
Really?
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert. I did research on a drug called acetazolamide, which is for use at high altitude so you don't get altitude sickness.
Now here's where things get really wild. The Canadian Department of National Defense once included the Canadian Research Board, and it was these guys, along with the CIA, who literally funded Project MKUltra, which I exposed in this video. MKUltra and the Canadian Connection, released back in 2012, the Canadian government has a dark history because of their involvement in the MKUltra experiments at McGill University in Montreal. The CIA teamed up with Dr. Ewan Cameron, president of the Canadian, American, and World Psychiatric Associations, to conduct illegal and immoral experiments on the human mind. Then 5 years later, there was a breakthrough. MKUltra victim receives compensation from Ottawa. The CIA conducted experiments in Canada as part of their MKUltra program where human beings were repatterned by Dr. Ewan Cameron at Montreal's Allen Memorial Institute, where he kept his subjects in a chemically induced sleep for weeks and subjected them to rounds of electroshocks, experimental drugs, and tape-recorded messages played over and over. The federal government ended up reaching an out-of-court settlement with a family member of one of the victims earlier this year, paying her $100,000 in exchange for dropping the legal action that she launched in September of 2015. In this video, Dan Dix at Press for Truth details the Canadian connection to the MKUltra experiments while reminding the viewer that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So, let's do a quick recap here to see where we're at. Harley Pasternak, the personal trainer who once got Kanye West institutionalized before and allegedly threatening to do it again by having Kanye drugged so much so that he won't even be able to see his kids. That is the scientist who worked at a psychological operations orientated military research facility that focused their work on drugs. Gee, nothing to see here, right? As Restoring Order on Twitter puts it, I'm not a particularly conspiratorial guy, truth be told, but hey, if elites did assign handlers to celebrities, particularly those deemed unpredictable or hard to control, with the purposes of keeping those celebrities in line, those handlers would look a lot like Pasternak. And it isn't too crazy when you think about it. Guy with the military psyop training and exercise science finds work in Hollywood, set him up with stars under the guise of fitness instruction, have him keep an eye on them. This doesn't mean he's a secret CIA agent or something, but it does mean that he's serving powerful interests, or at the very least, has their backing. Even the best personal trainer lacks the ability to get someone institutionalized on a whim. Pasternak is likely an intermediary for more powerful, shadowy forces in Hollywood. We're rarely able to peer behind the curtain. Occasions like this are significant because they reveal the secret power dynamics at play in elite society, the mechanisms by which even ultra-wealthy celebrities are kept in line. How many other Pasternaks are out there? And that's a really great question, which is why I wanted to bring all of this to your attention today. Kanye West was bold enough to expose his handler, and that has already costed him billions of dollars in lost contracts with some major brands. Are they trying to make an example of him for anyone else who might dare to speak out? Well, hopefully more celebrities out there who are dealing with bad actors behind the scenes will speak out, even at the expense of losing some of their many multi-million-dollar contracts. My friends, one of the biggest ways that the powers that ought not be can control us is to directly mess with our finances. They create inflation, all while devaluing the purchasing power of the dollar, which is why I wanted to tell you guys about my friends at Patriot Gold Group. When you call the number on the screen, you'll get connected to a free financial consultant, a guide who will help you set up a plan moving forward. Now, what these guys specialize in is IRAs and 401ks that are backed by physical precious metals like gold and silver. And if you already have an IRA, that's okay, they'll roll it over for you, and you might even be eligible for a no fee for life IRA. Again, when you call the number on the screen during business hours, you will get connected to a real live person, not some sort of AI robot, an actual person who's gonna set you up with a plan moving forward, guys. These guys are top-notch, highly rated. They've won multiple awards. Customer service is just outstanding. So again, when you call the number on the screen during the business hours that you see here, you will get connected to a free consultant who, again, will set you up with the plan, guys. Don't delay to get your assets out of the bank, out of the dollar, as they're continuing to devalue its purchasing power, continuing to cause this inevitable crash as we're now slowly marching into a potential global recession, guys. This is going to be bad news for the dollar. You got like Putin announcing this new reserve currency that may rival the dollar. So things are not looking good, guys. But for those of you who pay attention and take 2 steps ahead, by getting your money out of the dollar and getting it into the precious metal space like gold and silver, you're gonna fare far better than the rest. So once again, guys, don't delay. Call that number on the screen or click the link in the description to check out my friends at Patriot Gold Group. That's all for today, my friends. I wanna thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most. And stay tuned, we're gonna have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you